Hi guys, Flourish here. I already smudged the place, so we're not gonna have any sage today. But let's just say I am knowing I am enough. I love enough. I deserve love, and I manifest effortlessly and easily. So we're gonna just do some collective message today for you guys. I wanna talk about impatience. What messages does divine have for us to be more impatient in life, more impatient in events, situations, when it comes to money, when it comes to opportunities? How can we show up as more impatient? Also, if you guys are like me, I have a very bad habit of being very impatient when people are late or not on time. I have a very bad impatient with like patience, I should say, not impatient, patience. I have very bad patience when it comes to like agitating, annoying, continuance of noise and sounds. So what are some messages that divine can help us to increase patience? Divine, what messages do you have for us to increase patience? Increasing patience. Increasing patience. Okay. All right. Stellar gateway activation, infinite potential manifestation. So here the message for me is to be patient and to activate patience. So you have to practice. You have to practice being patient so you can be patient. So just like if you were someone who climbed mountains, you see the mountain here, these are the messages that I'm getting right off the bat. Someone who climbs mountains, they would have to, practice doing that to get good at it. Some people use those, I don't know what those things are called, where you could like poke it into the mountain or the rock and like bring yourself up. For you not to have to use those tools, you would have to practice. Practice makes perfect. So with patience, you have to practice patience, just like if it was skating, or if it was jumping rope, or if it was heavy lifting, like the dead weights that you lift inside the gym. So with patience comes practice and putting it into effect. Okay. And that would potentially get you to the place that you want to be. Because it says stellar gateway activation, infinite potential. What are some other messages that you have for us, divine, to practice patience? What are some other messages that you have for us to practice patience? Angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe, potent connection. So you have to basically tap into your higher frequency, to your higher power, to knowing that things happen for a reason, to knowing that you're always supported and protected in whatever place and point you are in life. So whether that is, danger. If you're in danger, unfortunately, this is how life goes. It is a divine path. There's a reason why that had to happen to you, for something else to happen in the world, to be honest with you. I hate to sound so, how can I say, dark. I guess some people would perceive it as dark, but for me, within my higher power, within my spirituality, within the place where I'm at now, I do understand that loss has to happen for gains to happen. So you have to tap in. You have to tap into your light, to your higher frequency, to understand that everything happens in the perfect timing. And the message also that I'm receiving for that, meditation is a perfect way to go about that. Meditating is a perfect aspect and challenge and practice for us to get to that higher power, that higher purpose, that higher frequency. Divine, what are some other messages that you have for us? What are some other messages to practice having more patience? Halls of learning. Halls of learning. Okay, so there's different lessons that teach you patience. There's different lessons and different events that are going to happen within your lifestyle that's going to teach you patience. Either you're going to be taught patience, or you're going to lose patience and then you're going to regret it, or you're going to have a karmic lesson from that. So basically it's saying that you need to quiet your mind, listen to your spirit guides, listen to the divine, take that time, like it says, practice meditation. And when you're meditating, you will get downloads and messages from divine on what you're supposed to do in certain instances. So that's even to do with life lessons, lifestyle, career options, decisions that you need to make. So you need to practice patience to get the answers that you're looking for. So right now, the message that I'm receiving, it's all about learning. You need to study yourself, study your triggers, study the things that happen to you, and when you realize that you're losing patience, you need to study those aspects so that you can learn how to deal with it the next time come around. So maybe you want to journal, because I'm seeing books here. You see, it looks like a study, it looks like a library or of some sort. Maybe you need to journal and start journaling your triggers that you notice that occur with lack of patience, or things that make you feel impatient, so that you can study yourself, so that you can learn your lessons from your own studying of your inner being, your inner knowing. Excuse me. Allow the spirit guides to lead you also. Like allow those messages to come in. Take that time to be quiet and still, and to learn what you need to learn. Yes. And also, when I said practice, you also need to be creating practices for yourself to strengthen your patience. So some of my lessons I've already shared with you in previous videos: yoga, qigong, Reiki. That's just to name a few. So you guys have to come up with your own practices that will suit you. Also, I like to listen to different frequencies. I listen to healing music and healing sounds. I listen to very positive music. Those are just some of my practices. I have my little singing bowl here as well. I got my little singing bowl pillow inside so you can't hear it, but and it's very calming, it's very peaceful, it's very spiritual, and it really does connect me with my inner self and my inner knowing and my intuition, and it calms my mind, and it helps to like ease my surroundings. Like, you know, I get to quiet and hear that peaceful ringing of that bowl, and it's very serene. Okay, divine, what other messages do you have to help us to strengthen our patience and to help with lack of impatience? All right, so it looks like a star to me. It also looks like a pyramid. It also, the shining yellow light for me is like solar plexus. So for me, it's like following your gut instinct, your intuition. I feel like we kind of know when we're being impatient. I feel like we kind of know when we're getting to the breaking points. And I feel like we also know like when we're having those agitated, aggravated, frustrated moods that are coming along. Because that's another thing that comes with being impatient. It turns into mood swings because one second you're in the mood to do something, and then something will happen the way you want it to happen, and now that's when impatience comes about. So it says it's a Merkaba activation. So transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. So with the practice and the studying and the connecting with higher self, you'll be in an ascension and rising up into a more patient into a more patient self. So it's all about connection with higher self. It's all about the frequency that we're vibrating on. It's all about the mindset and, knowing who we want to be, setting that pure intention with self in your mind and your mindset to know who it is you want to show up as. When you think about impatient people, they can be agitated and they can annoy you. You could be an impatient person and then be around another impatient person, and you're like, they getting on my damn nerves because they complaining. They're never happy. They just seem like really just energy draining, like, switching up the energy, switching up the aura, just, real negative. So we want to switch that negative into a positive. So we want to shine like a star. We want to have our solar plexus shine through. So we want to know that we're following our inner self and our inner thinking, because you communicate with yourself. You know when you're doing too much. When you're not behaving or acting in the right form or fashion. You just have to have that willpower to show up for yourself. Okay. I didn't even have to shuffle it. It just fell out. Soul star activation. So once again, it's just, you see this, the pictures are it's just basically highlighting what I just said. It's all about your being, your inner being, your soul. You need to be showing up as you want to show up, fulfilling the contract with yourself. You want to be a good person. You want to be a positive person. You want to be a loving person. You want to be a warm person. You want to be somebody that everyone wants to be around. You don't want to be that person that you're like, she's coming over, let's sage up the place because let's just hope she's in a good mood today. Or he's coming over, let's sage up the place. Or we got to walk on eggshells now because we don't know what mood they're going to be in. So let's activate our soul. Let's activate our ascensions. Let's have positive confirmations. Let's vibrate at a higher frequency. Let's show up as our higher self. Let's be the image of the divine, because we are divine. But while we're walking this earth, we need to overcome the challenges and the pinnacles within our life, the life cycles. We need to learn the lessons in our life cycle. We don't need to keep making the same mistakes. When they say you continuously making the same mistake over and over, that's insanity. We want to show up as a genius. And being a genius, that means you learn from your mistakes. That means you practice things that you want to overcome. That means you activate your higher self. That means that you study and learn things that you didn't know before, but you want to perfect. And remember, nobody's perfect. I'm not using the word perfect to mean that you have to be perfect. But when you're studying something, you study it and you learn it so that you can know it. So we need to study and learn our triggers, our behaviors, to know how to show up as a better person. It's all about transcending and ascension in this path, because you want to always become better. You don't want to stay stagnant and doing the same things. And it's all about showing in your soul who you want to be, your pure intention in this life that we're living. What do you want to show up as? Who do you want to be? And what do you want to do? I hope this message resonated with us, of how to overcome impatience and to practice being more patient and vibrating at a higher frequency. I love you. Happy Saturday.